Good morning, fifth grade. This is Miss J. Today is Thursday, May 28th, and we're going to get into writing for today. So today we're going to be looking at how we can use analysis with our evidence to show how the evidence proves our point. We know that analysis should always include these three important pieces, which are at least two sentences, explain how the evidence proves the assertion or big idea, and connect back to the overall argument. We're going to read two samples and discuss which is stronger and why. The samples we're reading are from a previous text that we've already read and a prompt that we have already written on. So our sample prompt for today is, how can technology help endangered animals? So you're going to pause the video here and take a moment to read samples 1 and 2. And as you're reading, think about which sample is stronger and why. Once you've done that, come back to the video. Welcome back. So at this point in the lesson, you should have read sample 1 and sample 2. Now let's read it again together. Sample 1. Technology can help endangered animals because it has been helping to save endangered desert tortoises. In the text, Can the Desert Tortoise Be Saved? The author writes, so far, Shield's efforts seem to be working. His team cleared one field of ravens in just 3 days, proving that technology can help us accomplish seemingly impossible feats. Technology is actually very helpful because it saved a whole bunch of turtles from ravens that could have been eaten. Technology is already showing that it can help to save an endangered species like desert turtles and more. The text, Can the Desert Tortoise Be Saved? States, when a raven approaches one of these decoys, tiny sensors inside a shell emit bad tasting, but harmless spray. Shield believes after pecking at enough icky plastic shells, the ravens will lose their taste of tortoises. These epic types of technology are very helpful because this one especially can trick ravens, so they won't even touch tortoises anymore. Something as small as a tiny technology shell can help save a species from becoming endangered. What do you notice about what I've highlighted? That's right. I've highlighted our analyses. That's right. I've highlighted the analysis after each quote. That's going to be really important when we discuss the two samples. Sample number 2. Technology can help endangered animals in many ways. In the text, the author wrote, technology has given conservationists superpowers, says John Hoekstra, former chief scientist at the World Wildlife Fund. We can do things now that we couldn't have dreamed about a generation ago. Today, conservationists are using drones to monitor and track poachers in Africa. The author also wrote, as for the baby tortoise, at Hardshell Labs, a company that Shields found in 2014, scientists have developed an ingenious way to help them. This evidence shows how technology can help endangered animals in many ways. What do you notice about what I've highlighted in sample 2? That's right. That is our analysis. So looking and reading at sample 1 and sample 2, which sample do you believe is stronger and why? Awesome. So notice in sample 1 that we have our assertion as our first sentence. Technology can help endangered animals because it has been helping to save endangered desert tortoises. Now let's see if our quotes addresses that. In the text, Can the Desert Tortoise Be Saved? The author writes, so far, Shield's efforts seem to be working. His team cleared one field of ravens in just 3 days, proving that technology can help us accomplish seemingly impossible feats. So this quote is telling us that Shields was able to use technology to help save the tortoises. And in just 3 days, his team cleared one field of ravens. So this quote is addressing the assertion. And what about our analysis? It is 2 sentences. Technology is actually very helpful because it saved a whole bunch of turtles from ravens that could have been eaten. So it's telling us that technology was able to save the turtles. Technology is already showing that it can help to save an endangered species like desert turtles and more. So that sentence is further explaining the quote and is explaining what specific endangered species that technology is able to save. And in the sample, it uses 2 quotes. So the second reads, the text, Can the Desert Tortoise Be Saved? States, when a raven approaches one of these decoys, tiny sensors inside a shell emit bad tasting, but harmless spray. That's explaining in detail how the technology is helping to save the tortoises. Shield believes after pecking at enough icky plastic shells, the ravens will lose their taste of tortoises. So again, it's explaining why the technology is working. If the ravens are pecking at the plastic shells, then they'll be most likely to lose their taste and leave the tortoises alone. Our analysis, these epic types of technology are very helpful because this one especially can trick ravens so they won't even touch tortoises anymore. So that sentence is explaining why technology is helpful and how. Something as small as a tiny technology shell can help save a species from becoming endangered. This sentence is telling us that this kind of technology is helping to prevent species from becoming endangered. In our second sample, there is the use of 3 quotes, but none of them are addressing the topic sentence. Right? Our topic sentence is technology can help endangered animals in many ways. And we should have an assertion, which we don't here. And after each quote, there isn't much of a analysis at all. The only analysis that we really see is after our third quote, as for the baby tortoise, at Hardshell Labs, a company that Shields found in 2014, science has developed an ingenious way to help them. So it's telling us that they found a way to help them, but doesn't tell us how or what. Then our analysis reads, this evidence shows how technology can help endangered animals in many ways. So it's essentially repeating the topic sentence, but isn't explaining the quote at all. And when you're explaining the quote, it's to give the reader a better understanding and to explain the evidence that you found in the text. So in this case, sample 1 would be our stronger sample. So for your independent work time, you're going to go into your writing in Google Classrooms. You need to make sure that as you're reading our article for today, that you're tracking the story and you're making annotations and you're writing down evidence as you read along. So you should have pencil and scratch paper in front of you. You're going to make sure to remember your analysis should be more than one sentence since it is showing your evidence is supporting your assertion, how your evidence is supporting your assertions and ideas. Refrain from using words such as this shows that when explaining your evidence. If the phrase is there numerous times, then you're not using a wide variety of introductory phrases. So again, for this question, you're going to write one strong paragraph based on the passage, and you're going to make sure to write your response in Google Classroom. Today's secret code for writing is Adidas. Adidas. Again, the secret code for writing for today is Adidas. Adidas. So your prompt for today is going to be, does TikTok belong in schools? Pick a side and support with evidence based off of the article. If you are still not clear on what your analysis should look like when you're writing your paragraph, reach out to your teachers for help and make sure that you're advocating for yourself if you have any questions.